Greetings and welcome to the Sajdah Saturday Morning Coffee Talks, where we talk about life, love, and business. And I didn't really want to get up this morning, so I decided we're not going to put a whole lot of light on. We're just going to make this a real cozy coffee talk this morning. So come on in the room. Assalamu alaikum, sis. Good morning, mother. Assalamu alaikum. Vanguard Queen 2020. Welcome, welcome. I decided I didn't feel like waking up this morning. So I was like, we're not going to turn on a whole lot of lights. We're just going to do this real serene like. Peace and blessings, everyone. How y'all doing? Come on in the room. How was your week? How many of you all attended manifestation class on Thursday? We talked about the truth and understanding how to truly stop focusing on our haters over and over and over again. I think that was an interesting conversation that a lot of people said they just never thought about. They just never really put it in their head that, wow, I'm giving them power by constantly having this conversation. And once you learn these truths, there's so much strategy that you can put together with learning how to focus your mind. Yes, Brother Lamont, you need to catch up today. Anybody else who has not been on, go back and listen. I noticed that a lot of people been binging because we've been getting a lot of active people after the classes and the table talks have started. So Fab Consulting, welcome, welcome. So what I wanted to do today, what I thought I would do, is I wanted to see if you guys have some suggestions on what we should have a conversation about or just chit chat about this morning. Pop something in the chat. Oh, Vanguard Queen, thank you. 2020 said powerful Thursday. Thank you. Gabrielle Malachi 7, welcome, welcome. Okay, good. Listen, so pop in the chat anything that you just kind of want to chat about, clear up, either from class or either from our Wednesday show, which is our Mind of an Entrepreneur show that we have now been, 4 months now, successfully doing consistent shows on Black Muslim businesses. So anything you have from those classes, anything you want to talk about, pop that in the chat. I be doing me subconsciously. I like that. Welcome. Come on in. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings. Yeah, give me some suggestions. Let's just talk about what y'all want to talk about today. I have some things on my mind, but something said, see what they want to talk about today. What y'all sipping on? I got some rooibos tea today. It's like a rooibos nectar, and rooibos generally is from South Africa, and so I made that today with it's got like apricot nectar in it, which makes it really nice and gives it a nice flavor. Not too sweet, but just really flavorful. I changed my location, so my table is a little further away from me than it normally is. That's why I'm kind of constantly holding my cup. Because I don't want it to get cold while I'm waiting for y'all to talk in the chat and let me know what y'all want to talk about. What's on your mind? What you're dealing with? What was your week like? One of the things that I like to do, even when I come and talk to you guys, I think about what my week was like. And my week was, I think, a week of maybe redemption, a week of revelation, a week of just old desires and dreams kind of coming back and me looking around and going, oh, that's fulfilled, that's fulfilled. Really not focusing on what's not fulfilled, but really just going, wow, just taking inventory of dreams and desires and thoughts that I've had for a very long time that I start seeing this week starting to come to pass. And I spent the week having a real sense that Allah is with me. Farmer Courtney, welcome. So that was how I spent my week, just really having that sense like, Allah is really with me. And not that, that's an interesting thing, because I don't mean that in a negative way, like he wasn't with me and now he is, but just really settling into that. And there's a certain certainty, if you will, that comes when you really realize that, yes, I be doing me, that Allah is doing his thing. He's doing his thing. We say in Islam, we plan and Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. Well, I was realizing that really strongly this week. That's what was coming to me this week. Just, wow, what a planner. It's interesting how we're going along our day, and that's why gratitude is so important. Let me say that, because I think it's interesting how we're going along throughout our day, and we're like, I want this and I want that, and I wish this would happen. And I just said, you know what? This week I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sit back and say, and look around and look at all the ways that Allah has been with me in my life, what he's given to me, how he supported me, and how he's orchestrated my affairs. And that's been my concentration this week. Okay, so usually that's the kind of thing I'll talk about. So Aletha said, share more of the power of visualization as part of our manifestation process. I love feeling when I visualize powerful and blissful. Absolutely, I've been reflecting this week as well, thinking only Allah. Yes, so that process of visualization, I think it's almost like it takes you into that God realm if you start to really practice it. Because you have to form the vision of what you want in your mind. And so you form it there. And so sometimes you have to practice just forming and sitting with it and let it be there. Sometimes you just practice that. Then you figure out, what do I feel when I see that vision? And then you practice recalling that feeling. And then you put the whole overall condition together. So you have the vision and you have the feeling, and you sit with it and you do it. And part of what becomes, I call it an ingredient of your emotional fitness, you put them together and you call them up just like that. Just like that. I'm not just making moves with my fingers. I can't pop my fingers. So for those of you all who know that, that's why I always say my husband has to be able to pop his fingers, because his wife will not be able to do so. So if he sees me getting a groove, he got to just step up and pop. Anyway, yeah. So I do this often. Sometimes even if I'm in a position where I can't necessarily stop and visualize, I'll pull up the feeling. I'll pull up the condition of what it is that I want. And I use that, and I just pull on that all the time. Interesting for me, if I say, man, I really wish I could talk to the minister right now, I'll pull up the feeling of him. It's almost like I pull up his mind and I go, oh, this morning I was really feeling strongly the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I said, I want to hear his voice. Well, sometimes you might not be in a position where you could play a tape or jump on a TikTok. So you got to hear his voice in your head. You may say, I want to talk to my mother, my father, my sister, my brother. Well, you can hear the voice of them in your head. You can feel what they feel like to you inside of your body. And so that's a very powerful thing. And then another exercise on, I don't even call it an exercise on visualization, but more so an exercise on being, where we actually pretended like we were a plant. We planted the seed, and then we started to see the plant, the seed blossom. We started to see the roots go down into the earth. We started to see the shaft come up. We started to see the bud forming. We started to see the bud open up. And we just, went through that entire process. And then in going through that entire process, that teaches you the power of visualization. See, because if you don't visualize, somebody else gonna visualize for you. So you got to get into the habit of creating these visions in your mind. You want to see your business. You want to see it forming. You want to see it opening. You want to see the people there. You want to see people paying for your services. You want to see your bank account. You want to visualize all of those type of things. Anytime I'm working on any project, I take myself through this visualization process on a daily basis, where I'm seeing the people walking through my business. I see them calling on the phone. I hear the phone ring. And then as I start to practice seeing it, then I start to practice feeling it. What will I feel like when those people are calling the business? What will I feel like when they're walking through my business? What will I feel like when certain key people are there? So then I take that feeling and marry that feeling with the vision. So my visualization includes a feeling or an emotion, which I call the condition of manifestation. And so you have to get there first before you end up getting what you want. Because see, what happens is a lot of us just have a flight of ideas. We all have been there where you got an idea. I want to do this and I like that. Or we start something and it never finishes, or we move forward on something and it seems like we take a step forward and then 20 steps backwards. And so you have to ask yourself, what are you chasing? See, if you're chasing the money you're going to make, you can do that, but here's how you do it. See, a lot of people say, I just want to get paid. You can do that. A lot of people say you can't do that. I don't in particular do that. I incorporate the money that I'm going to make in the overall vision. So when I see the project coming to fruition, I visualize the money coming in to fund the project, to add abundance and wealth to the project, but I also feel the money coming in. How will I feel when that money comes in? Well, what is that money going to do for me? Wow, it's going to give me choices. It's going to help me so that if anything ever happens, I got a choice. It might change my zip code. It might change the car I drive. It might change a condition in my life. It may allow me to pay somebody's college tuition or high school tuition, or nowadays preschool tuition. It may allow me to put somebody else on. So I pull the money aspect into the overall vision. So the money's not just sitting out there by itself as a desire and a dream, because sometimes it'll get lost. But if you attach the money to the vision and the feeling and the emotion, then when you have these ideas, then the ideas will begin to open up and unfold. That will prevent you from having a whole list of businesses that you start that you never really do. Because what will happen is, if you get in the habit and you get yourself used to things not popping off or things not making any money, then that becomes an emotional habit. So every time you start something, you really are going into it in the back of your mind with the mindset that this ain't going to never happen. But at the end of the day, it's because you've practiced that over and over and over again. Don't start another idea if you really don't intend on completing it. Take the current idea that you're in the middle of right now, whatever that business is, whatever that concept is for your business, whatever it is. Take that idea right here, right now, form a vision, and get detailed. You can sit there after your prayers, after your meditation, while you're cooking, whatever you're doing, and you can just visualize your business. Hear people chattering about your business. Hear people inside of your business asking you about a specific product. See yourself presenting your business to the public, to the press. Hear yourself doing that. Practice it. Practice your Oscar speech. Practice your Emmy Award winning speech. Practice being the powerful person that you want this idea to help you become. And as you begin to practice that, as you put your body into it, move when you're doing this. You don't always have to sit in one place and do a nice meditation when you do it. Take a walk and do it. Add movement to your visualization and your emotionalization process. Add music. That's right. Just like Kanye said, he practices Oscar speech. Shout out to Kanye. Send him some love. Put some hearts up for our brother Kanye. Send him some love. I'm really worried about him. Not so much in the obvious way, but something about what he's going through feels very Michael Jackson-ish. Very much like he's up against a media machine that could be dangerous. And I don't know who it's coming from. I'm not saying that it's necessarily coming from his ex-wife or her boyfriend or anything. I don't know the source of it, but what I get from it is that there's something going on. Something don't pass the sniff test, and something's not right. And so let's put the hearts and praying hands up in the chat for our brother Kanye. And listen, y'all, support our black men out here. Support our black men out here. A lot of times they make choices that are not always the best for them. Brothers have to learn to choose a woman that's going to support them mentally and spiritually. Not saying that his wife didn't do that, but I'm saying that that's important. Why is that important? Because a lot of us come into this world with special needs. And we may have a mother in our life that has the understanding and the capacity to support our special needs. And then we marry somebody who doesn't see our special needs, especially oftentimes if they're from another culture. I'll give you an example of this before we go back to visualization. At our micro hospital in Maryland, when we realized we had to train people from other cultures on how to see us, because we have special needs as a people. And see, we all know one another. And so if we see each other cursing and acting a certain way, we may not pull out the gun and shoot them. We may not say, oh, I'm out of here, I ain't talking to you again. We're going to say, you know what, be quiet for a minute. We may wrestle you down and straighten you out. But that's because we know ourselves culturally. See, as a black man, it's nothing like a black woman to help you get to that next level in your life. Why? Because she's going to understand the nuances of you, because she's seen it before. She's seen it in her community. She's seen it in her father. She's seen it in her brothers. She's seen it in her sons, her children. She's seen it before. So to give you an example, and this is why I say cultural nuances are important. And this is kind of a funny story just to kind of lighten the mood up. But we had hired a doctor. I won't give all the details, but we had hired a particular physician who was from another culture. And when he was seeing a patient, one of the patients called him a mother ucker. Patient called him a light-skinned mother ucker, okay? And he and really just was cursing him out. And so he was so upset. He came in my office, he said, "Miss Wendy, what is a mother ucker?" And I said, "Who called you that?" And he said, "No, a patient said da 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 da." And he repeated what the patient said. And I said, "Take me. Is the patient still here?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Take me there. So I'm just following my intuition that said to do this." I said, "Take me there." And he takes me in the room. The man's still sitting in there. And the man was cussing so much, he took it the wrong way and ran out and ran upstairs and was like, "You got to help me with this person because they cursing me out." So I go in the room. I can't really be as colorful about it as, we on the air. But I go in the room. It's a brown-skinned black man, older brother, maybe in his late 70s. And I walk in, and I know him. I'll call him Mr. Jones. I said, "Mr. Jones, what's going on? I'm hiring people, and you cussing them out?" But you know what he said? "I told this light-skinned so-and-so, da-da-da." He was joking. That was just his vernacular. He was just laughing. He called himself having fun. He said, "I ought to slap the mess out of him." This man really thought that he was getting cussed out, and that this older man, this doctor, really thought that he was getting cussed out, and that this old brother was going to slap the mess out of him. And I said, wow. It just gave me an understanding of the nuances of our culture. And he laughed. He laughed so hard. The patient laughed so hard that I laughed. We were cracking up. And you should have seen this doctor from the other culture looking at us like, these people are really crazy. So every time I would see him in the hallway, I'd be like, "Now, Mr. Jones, don't be cussing nobody out now." He said, "I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to slap nobody today. I ain't going to whoop nobody today." But do you know that the clinical staff from other cultures actually thought he was serious? Actually thought he was serious. We had an older black woman who was probably in her 80s. She might have been about 4'10" or 4'11", tiny little thing. And she used to tell my business partner all the time, "Next time I see you, I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out when I see you." And we would always laugh, and she put her little fists up like she was gonna fight him. And the people from the other cultures were just looking like, these folks are nuts. So the same thing happens oftentimes in our interpersonal relationships. We marry somebody or get with somebody, and our overall persona they get, but they don't get our special needs. They don't understand our special needs. They don't understand how the support that we need. They don't understand our habits. I was also in a meeting one time, and I'm just bringing up these cultural things because this is important for us to understand. I was in a meeting one time, and it was at a black hospital, and the CEO of the hospital was a white man. And he was so sweet, and he was trying to be so nice and trying to be so down with our culture and all of that. And I was pointing out to him a glitch in the process that appeared to not be working right. Let me say it that way. And he called this particular black woman who was over the department into the room. There were some other people at the conference table. He called her into the room. And so when he started telling her and giving her some additional responsibilities for her department, she said, "You want me to do what?" She said, "What?" And he just was going on. And inside, I'm laughing because when a black woman says, "What?" See, what we do, we always want you to repeat before we curse you out. And I said, "Oh, here we go." I sat back in my seat. I said, "Oh, he finna get it." She said, "What?" She turned her head to the side. She said, "You want me to do what?" He had no idea what was coming to him. I said, poor thing. And he's so down with black folks and let's have Malcolm X Day and all that. But he did not know culturally what that phraseology and that vernacular meant and what was about to come to him. I sat back and she laid into him afterwards. He said, Wendy, I just don't understand what happened. I said, oh, you didn't see that coming because you don't know our culture like that. You don't know certain things that's about to come. So I say all that to say that also is true. You know, when we marry somebody, that person got to be able to feel you culturally. And as black people here in America who have sojourned, we have a very special need. And we have a lot of special needs. And so you have to be very careful when you choose somebody to make sure that you choose somebody that understands your special needs. And let me tell you something. 80-90% of our brothers out here have special needs. It's part of what makes them so beautiful. See, part of what makes them a genius, part of what makes them who they are is their special needs. And if you can't find a woman who can address your special needs and push you into your dream, into your authentic self, then you don't need to be marrying that person. Because see, as a man, as a lion, what you're going to do is you're going to start lashing out and attacking because you realize that these people are real. You feel like by them making fun of your special needs, you feel like they're really attacking you. So you're going to lash out. You're going to start attacking. You're going to start feeling some kind of way, whether you go into depression or whether you start fighting. But that's what you're going to do. But see, you need a black woman to say, come here for a minute, brother. Come here for a minute. Let me talk to you. And if that black woman is your woman, your wife, she can comfort you in a way that incorporates your special needs. Just like he can do the same thing to you. He can help you with your special needs. But if you make sure you pick somebody from your culture, then their love for you is going to be a healing for your special needs. Why? Because they're aware of it, whether it's subconscious or conscious. Your special needs is not getting on their nerves. It's part of the beauty that is you, black man. So you need that. You got to make sure you choose that. Otherwise, you're going to start either fighting, attacking, telling secrets, and that's going to put you in danger. So surround yourself with people who are from your culture. I understand that a lot of times we move through life and we start to move into circles that don't look like us. Work circles, business circles, relationship circles. But you gotta, oh my God, you gotta make absolute certain that you are pulling in to your life somebody that looks like you and somebody that is from your very culture. This is critical, very critical. If you're Oprah Winfrey, you need some people from your culture around you. If you're President Barack Obama, he got a wife from his culture, but you need somebody from your culture around you. No matter how big you get, you need somebody from your culture around. I know what that's like because I've been isolated like that. Where you go into this kind of white corporate world, you become successful, you get all these friends that are not from where you're from. You meet all these people that are not from your culture, and they are friendly towards you. You feel like, okay, these are my friends. But at the end of the day, it's your culture. It's the love from your culture that will heal you. Because in that love from your culture is the DNA of your special needs. Anyway, back to visualization. So when you're visualizing about that mate that you want, when you're visualizing about that relationship that you want, when you're visualizing about how you want to interact with your mate, you also want to see it, but you want to feel it. How do you anticipate feeling? How do you anticipate serving them and making them feel a certain way and addressing their special needs? You always want to make sure that you're helping to focus on somebody's special needs. Otherwise, why are you in their life? Why even be there? Just to say you there? Okay, so Daniel said, they naturally and inevitably put themselves in kind first when something comes between that perceived relationship. Our intelligence connects a variety of cultures, but only our specific culture relates to the special needs. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. You have to find someone that can relate to your special needs. And if you think you don't have any, you're lying. Because if you live in America and you've been here and you've gone through this sojourn, especially if you're a black person in America, and I'm not even saying that somebody from another culture can't help you, but it is more times than not that they just won't get your special needs. They're going to think you crazy. They're going to think something is wrong with you. How many of us, you could put in the chat, how many of us got people with special needs in our family as black people? We grew up with it. We see it all around us. We know the person next door, the person across the street, Uncle so-and-so, Auntie so-and-so, Cousin so-and-so. We've seen it before. We know what we're looking at. We oftentimes know how to settle it. We know how to promote it. I mean, come on. It's just only natural. Some of us got special needs our damn self. So it's just a reality. But anyway, that's I'm sorry, I went into that Kanye rant because it's just been bothering me for the last month. Something about what he's going through feels very Michael Jackson-ish. Very much, very dangerous in terms of, especially if he starts talking and giving away secrets and giving away things that, and saying things that people generally want kept quiet. It worries me. It bothers me. Mom says special needs recognize special needs. That's exactly right. It's just like game recognize game, right? Special needs recognize special needs. Yeah. I Be Doing Me says Kanye's situation has been annoying me for years. I seen this coming. Yeah. I seen it coming. And I too seen it coming. But he's in it now. And he needs our love and our prayers. Because now he's in a world where I believe his special needs are being attacked and made fun of. I wish he was my client. Man, Kanye, call me. I wish he was my client because I could help him see through some of what's happening in terms of teaching him how to redirect the energy. Redirect the energy. Because you're dealing with, people will say, well, I tried to tolerate it. But the special needs is, see what happens when you're dealing with people from other cultures, they tolerate your special needs. They try to overlook your special needs. They try to just deal with it. But this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody who's going to, like you saw his mother in the documentary, love you through your special needs. Because we've seen it before. We've been there before. We can tell you how to cope. There's somebody in our family that we've seen cope with it. We've seen depression before. We've seen bipolar before. We've seen schizophrenia before. We've seen autism before. We've seen all that before they start diagnosing it and paying attention to us with it and telling us to go to the doctor for it. We've been seeing it. We've been dealing with it. But this is also what is the basis of oftentimes that little bit of wobble that makes us a genius as well. So if you marry a genius, if you marry somebody who's really, 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 really good at something, there's going to be a special need there. And you just got to know that. So anyway, what else we going to talk about today? She said that's all he needs, the energy redirected. They provoking him and then playing victim because he is so transparent. Yeah. She said antisocial anxiety disorder. Yeah, it's like poking a bear. Like, let's see if he'll snap. But I don't know. Something about it just feels very, I just keep saying it's Michael Jackson-ish. And I just want it to end well and not end badly, like Michael's situation. Something just don't pass the sniff test. But with genius, with excellence, with somebody who is extraordinary in whatever it is that they do, you're going to find a special needs there if you marry that person or be with that person. And you got to understand that, and they got to understand that. Straight up. Straight up. Anyway, what else? What else we talking about? We talked about visualization, which is something that we talked about on Thursday. We talked about just this week for me was a week of reflecting and just reflecting on what Allah has done for me, and just being in a situation where we go, you know what? Let's just stop asking for stuff and let's just be. Let's just be with that energy that has been there with me all along. Let's be there. Sajdah said, I do believe, like you said, he's in a dangerous place. That's why it's important to have a brother or sisterhood, especially when you're going up against Satan. Yeah. It's important to have a brother and sisterhood when you have these gifts that can bring out the alternative nature in yourself. That's because, just like special needs recognize special needs, Satan recognized Satan. See, energy matches itself. So we have to figure out, how do we get around that? How do we bring that out of ourselves? Or move around that within ourselves so that we don't attract that to us. Because all this energy is finding the right conditions. We talked about creating the right conditions in our mind and in our life. Well, all this energy is creating the right conditions. And that's dangerous. It can be very dangerous. All right, so we talked about visualization. We talked about just this week being a week of reflection for me, a week of reflection and recognition. Brother Lamont says, I really feel you can pull a person up. You said it earlier, been pulling up my brother. It's like he is sitting at the table with me. Yeah, you can pull that person up in your mind. But just like you pull your brother up, Brother Lamont, you can pull up that business. You can pull up whatever it is that you want, whatever you're desiring, whatever is paining you, whatever is hurting you right now, whatever you want so bad, you can pull that up in your mind. If you got all these business ideas sitting all over the table and ain't nothing happening, and you could say, that whether you getting paid off of it or not, because the real deal is, how do you take your ideas and monetize them? How do you do that? These are the things we're talking about on Thursday on the Sajdah Wendy Muhammad YouTube channel on the Manifestation series. How do you take your ideas and monetize it? How do you then go, okay, I'm going to get paid off of who I am? How do you do that? See, because if you don't go spiritual, you're going to go predator. You're going to go and prey on somebody, or you're going to get preyed upon. So the idea here is to focus on becoming a conscious entrepreneur, because otherwise you'll have a flight of ideas and you'll be looking around trying to figure out who you can use, who you can steal from, who you can do something negative to in order to get the money that you want. Yes, Mom, I did. I talk about mindset matters. Mindset matters, but mind matters. Because mindset is a point in time. It's set. What is your mindset? That matters. But then also the movement of your mind matters. The movement of your mind. How does your mind evolve? And how do you use the energy of the movement of your mind to visualize, to emotionalize, to create that condition? If you don't go spiritual, trust me, you're going to go predator. Because predator is the way of the world. You're going to either try to get a job where you can do as little as possible for as much money as possible. You're going to go and prey on somebody. You're going to go steal time from somebody because you're going to say, I got to get a job to pay my bills, so let me try to get this money so I can finance. But then you working on your business while you at work, stealing them people's time. You're either going to go and say, well, let me pretend like I want to do something for somebody or with somebody, but I really don't. I'm really just trying to get my own thing popped off. That's another thing. But you're going to go predator if you don't go spiritual. See, if you don't put your own mind in motion, then trust me, there's another mind out there that will go in motion for you. That mind is not designed to help you get all them businesses you got on the table up off the ground. It's just not designed to do that. It's not. What is it designed to do? It's designed to get their businesses up and running. That's what it's designed to do. So what we have to do is make sure that we are visualizing and putting in the spiritual labor to get our businesses up the ground. I don't care how cold you think you are. I get so many DMs from people, so many people talking about, oh, I want to do this and I'm that, I'm this. I said, okay, how much money is your business making? And they said, oh no, it ain't up and running yet. Or, oh no, I ain't made no money off of it. Not necessarily anything wrong with that, because we all have to get to that point. But what are you going to do to turn that corner so that you can monetize that? So, because if you don't, you're just going to be mad, you're going to be bitter, you're going to end up getting sick, and you're going to constantly be wanting something that you don't have. When you see somebody else with it, you're going to be mad. So practice these techniques. Practice these techniques. You have within you the skill set and the ability to be able to make that idea come to fruition. You can do it. You got the skills. You got a mind that travels at the average rate of 24 billion miles per second. You ain't trying to go that far. You just need a couple seconds. That little thing you trying to do, that ain't nothing. Give it a couple seconds. Give it a couple seconds of concentration and of focus. And watch and see how far you end up going. All right. So y'all, make sure you go out. Please support independent preservation. Support the renovation and restoration of the former home of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We got these pendants available. If you click the link in the bio, you can purchase a copy of your pendant. You can purchase one of the pendants. You can also still get the graded coins. We have those left. That's important as well. So we're using the coins as a way to raise funds. Our finish line is right there. You ever been walking towards something and you see the end right there? Like literally, I can see it right there. We just need your help to get over the finish line. We are almost there. Almost there. And so we need your support. You can donate. You can either click the link in the bio to donate, or you can Cash App $Mo Today, MOETODAY, or you can go to sajdahhouse.com, get your coins. You got to click the link in the bio and go to that link, though, in order to get the pendant. But, yes, thank you for them finish line things, Aletha. It's right there. It's right there. Somebody said, how much is sponsorship? Sponsorships start at $2,500. You want to send me an email, I can let you know what sponsorships are available. You can go to sajdahhouse@gmail.com to send me an email. I'll let you know what's left in order to sponsor. SAJDAHHOUSE @gmail.com. Also, the link in the bio if you just want to make a donation, or you can Cash App, get your coin, support the independent restoration of properties that are significant to our community. Okay? Finish line is right there. It's right there. All right, y'all. So if y'all don't have anything else y'all want to talk about, I'm done. Again, put the hearts up and the praying hands up if you in the chat for our brother Kanye. Focus, send him some healing energy, send him some loving energy. Either hit the heart button or put the heart right here in the comment, because he needs us and he needs our support. Amina unapologetically said, I missed everything. That's okay. What I'm going to do is we'll upload this, inshallah, to the Sajdah Wendy Muhammad YouTube channel. And it's there where you can also binge on the other past shows as well. Pray for Ye. Thank you. Send him prayers, healing prayers. If his Instagram goes back up, send him loving thoughts in the comments in his IG. Because we don't ever want to walk away or abandon anybody just because we think they got special needs. Again, genius always comes with special needs. Anybody that has greatness in them has a special need. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. When you see somebody who is really, really powerful, really, really special, got really great talents, trust me, there are some special needs there. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to be 100% perfect. And sometimes you wear people out. Some people can't deal with your special needs on a long-term basis. That happens as well. But anyway, may Allah bless you all. Thank you. Go to the YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the page. Please do that right now. And you can binge on any previous shows that you want to check out. The Mo Today series on Black Muslim businesses. You can binge on Sajdah Saturday Morning Coffee Talks. You can binge on the Manifestation series as well. All right. Peace and blessings, family. I love you all very much. Again, pray for our brother Ye, and understand that special needs, recognize special needs, as Mom said, but we got to support one another and love one another through our special needs. All right. Peace and blessings, family. Have a happy Saturday. Make sure you exercise today. Peace.